There's some really great instructions too, and you can always contact me via the Facebook group, or you can send me an email. But as you look at this, we disassembled it, we put in our thing, and remember that this is the nozzle body, then you have the threading, and then you have, they called this the ball joint, which is the round part. And then you have the tubing. So we're set up, and the idea is that let's get this in a proper place to shoot. So the first thing that you want to do is you want to make sure the nozzle are sitting up straight, which it is. And just to make sure, let's untwist. I'm going to feed the nozzle. I want to go back and show you before I put it on my e-brush again, just to make sure you understand. Let's take it all apart. Okay, I have the nozzle. Now this, it's funny, but this is the adjustment that's going to help you move it in or out the airflow so that you have your unit working. So I'm going to twist it all the way down just for right now so I can place it in. I'm going to put the ball joint into the little cup, into the receptacle. I'm going to make sure it's sitting straight up. And you see it's sitting straight up, it's looking right at you. I'm going to take the cover and I'm going to put the cover on. Voila. Now the reason why I'm doing that is because we're going to move it to get a measurement for our spray. I'm going to place this back on the e-brush. Aha. And you'll see that basically, just by sitting it straight, let's see if we can get it to focus. Focus, focus, Dominocus. Sometimes, let's see. There we go. Okay. So, as you see, it's still not focusing. Okay. As you see, the nozzle's off a little bit, but that's all right. We'll work with it. So this is our nozzle. The airflow is going to come straight, and it looks pretty good. So the next step is let's go ahead and put our well on so that we can put some liquid in and we can test. Now this is very simple, and I know a lot of people are so afraid to use this because they think, oh, it's going to spill all over, and really and truly it doesn't. I can spray down with it and I can spray straight with it. So as you put it on, the threads go in and you just turn it. Just turn. It's easy, easy, easy. I love this. This is my favorite part to use because if you're right-handed, you can do it this way. If you're left-handed, you can do it this way. And I can bring it back here, and I've got a cover in case I want to save some of my stuff for later. So now I have the basic setup, and now I'm going to mix some of my liquids. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a little cup here. You can actually use a cup itself, but we're going to use that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of, do now is since we have our adapter set up, I'm going to shake some just regular over-the-counter acrylic that you could buy any place. This is actually a multi-surface. See, this is the bad part because acrylic is made out of latex, so of course it's kind of got a rubberized thing to it. So, and by the way, if you thin it with water, it doesn't bond quite as well. It can lose its bond. So what some people do is they'll put a little airbrush thinner in theirs to make it work, which is what I do. I have a little bottle with some airbrush thinner mixed in it. I'm going to put it in there, just a 2 to 1. If you're looking for ratios, you'll find that the ratios, airbrush thinner in there, are listed on our website. You're going to mix it. Sometimes too, if I really feel that it's hot or very dry, I'll screen it so that I pull out any kind of chunks that might be in it, because sometimes you can get some of those little strings in your latex paint. And if any way that your nozzle gets jammed up with anything, I use a little tiny piece of beading wire sometimes, and that'll clean out the tip too. So something like that would work. And again, just a little bit of airbrush thinner. This doesn't change the color. It's just a little thinner that I didn't have in the cup. So I'm looking at it. I'm not seeing any kind of strings or anything like that. So it looks pretty good. I'm going to take my cup off. Take off the cup. Put it down. I have a little spatula I use for these things. And it's liquid enough, I do believe. I'm going to show it to you in just a second. My beautiful pink. This stuff is really, really cool. You can actually spray it on and then you can cure it in the oven, and it's dishwasher safe. But only for the outside. Don't use it by the place where you would eat. You know, I'm so glad people are warning people. It's really not something you'd want to do. Now, I'm going to take my cup, go back, or my well, whatever you want to call it. Sometimes you'll hear me refer to it as a well, a cup, or whatever. Screw it on. Turn it on, and put it on high, and right away, I mean, hardly any adjustment at all, and look at that. I love this thing.